What's cracking? What's cracking? We right here, man. We live. Raider Nation live. Fucking wake and bake hour, man. The wake and bake shit. We have a special guest in the building, man. We got a special guest in the building. He's a new up and coming, Raider content creator. Shout outs to him, man. He's getting his shit started. So hopefully everybody go over there and follow him and shit like that. He's the homie. TheYurpJerz Raider podcast, man. So let's get straight into it, man. What's cracking, man? What's up?
What's good, bro, man? Appreciate y'all, man. For real. Thanks for having me on. It's the TheYurpJerz Raiders podcast, man. And you know how we do it on our side. You feel me?
Yeah,
we in the building. Thanks for having me, though, bro. For real. Yes,
sir. Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure getting, and especially getting to know new people, man. Especially in this Raider Nation, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is, man. It's just growing the nation, you know what I mean? And shit, I know you smoke some. I know you smoke some herb too, man. I know we right here in the wake and bake hour. I'm gonna get shit started real quick. I'm gonna take a riff really quick.
All right. I'll take a hit of the blitty. You feel me? Ain't nothing. Yes, sir. We in the building.
Yeah, shout out to everybody too. Right now, already pulling in. You know what I mean? Shout out to Robert Pena. M85. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Mike G in the building. What's that? He said he hates weed, but he's here. He's here, dog. He probably smoking one right now too. You gotta keep it on the DL though, huh? I guess. What up, Mike? What up? Mike G in the building. Mike G, we haven't had you on the show, dog. Shit. We haven't had you on the show in a while, man. So shit, hit me up, dog. I know it's Easter Sunday, so I know everybody's probably a little bit busy, but we're gonna get into it, man. Shit, we're gonna. I know that there's some. It's what 4 days. We're 4 days away from the draft. Shit, hold on, real quick. I think it's. Hello. Yeah, man. It's like 4 days away from the draft, man. What are you feeling, man? How do you feel, man? Like, what are your guesses on where we're gonna go at, early in the draft, man? Especially day one, Thursday.
I'm thinking, like I said, bro, on a couple of my lives and a couple of my videos, I got three. It's three for me: Shadur, Membao, or Genty. You know what I'm saying? Even watching the presser and stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm right there, man. I'm right there. Like literally I would say I like Membao because it makes sense, especially with the Colton Miller situation going on right now. The only thing I would say is like I would just maybe put like because I hear about the hold on. What is it? Feedback. Hello. I think it's mine. I think it's my shit real quick.
You all good?
I see that. I hear the little bit of feedback real quick, but let me check real quick. Hello. I think there it is. Yeah, you did it. Hold on real quick. Hello. Okay. It's not here. Okay. Yeah, no, I just the only thing I would probably say is like because you know how you hear a little bit of the news with supposedly what's his name falling Abdul Carter, you know what I mean? So I mean that's the only guy. If he were to fall to us, that I don't see how you pass up on that type of guy like talent like that. But I'm right there, man. Membao is he seems like one of those guys that's going to be around for a while. You know what I mean? At tackle, you know what I mean? He's going to be around for a while. So I wouldn't knock it, man. I love the other two picks that you say because I'm still on like I like Genty, man, a lot. The only thing I'm saying, like quarterbacks, you always have to have one, especially when I like Gino, don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm not going to sit here and like act like he's a guy that like any of us. I won't say any of us, anybody in the chat or anybody like we weren't like sitting around waiting around for fucking Gino to come available. You know what I mean? Like I get Gino's an upgrade. I get Gino's an upgrade and all that shit, but I'm like, I also don't think that we weren't sitting around, like I said, we weren't sitting around waiting for Gino to become available because he was never in our, like, he's never in the front of your mind when you're thinking about, you know, coming in and changing the franchise with the quarterback like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just don't, that's why I'm still with you with the Shedeur thing. But oh shit, we got the other half of the Raider Nation live in the building. We got shit dirt and low. Oh shit, hold on. We get. He still fixing some stuff in the background. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. He'll be in.
Nah. Did you say something? Oh nah.
Nah, go ahead.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When we first got Pete Carroll, I was like, two quarterbacks came to my mind. It was either Russ or it was Gino. Russ was more realistic because he was going to be a free agent, or they were letting him go. But we really didn't know that we were going to trade for, you know what I'm saying, Geno Smith. So those are my two guys coming in, just because I knew once we got Pete Carroll, I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
you do have a point there. For sure, you do have a point there with the Geno and the Pete Carroll, you know, that connection, that is true, because as much as I want to say like he wasn't a guy that we want to be like, okay, yeah, that's the guy we want for our franchise, but he does make sense for that reason. I do get you there for sure.
Well, you know, he said it too. He said this was a quick fix. It was an instant fix. You know what I'm saying? For right now,
yeah,
he has three years, maybe 4 on his contract. You feel me? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not? Let them ride out together and then see what happens after that.
No, but that's why I'm with you with the Shedeur thing too. Like, still, like, I wouldn't write out Shedeur yet. You know what I mean? Just because he's still like, just because of the, I would say you've never seen even, you know, Geno even win a playoff game. So like, I get that he's like, I'm still with the, I get that he's an upgrade, but he, like, you still can't, like, because I believe in Shedeur. I know a lot of people don't.
I do.
Like, exactly, like that. That's why I'm on the same page with you, because I know a lot of people don't, but I do. So I would still be high on him because of the fact that, you know, even though Geno Geno still, like, he's still going to be 35 years old. You know what I mean? Which, like, I get, you know, people, you know, like the people just stick. I think what sticks out in people's mind is Brady did it till he was 45, so why not? You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, quarterbacks don't really go into their 40s, because you even see some of the greats, like even fucking, like, people would consider Aaron Rodgers a great, but you've seen him considerably, I wouldn't say totally fall off, but you've seen his game considerably, you know what I mean, drop off a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's, and Geno's nowhere near Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, like, Geno's an upgrade, but he's still not something that I'm content with. Like, I'm not going to be complacent with, you know what I mean? Because if we're able to get a guy like Shedeur at 6, if we're still able to get, like, especially if that's our guy.
Nah, facts. Nah, I agree. But can I just put this in the air one quick second? Right. You know, Geno really didn't play most of his career. He sat for about a good 3 years. 4 years, actually, you know what I mean, until Russ, you know what I mean, left. So, you know what I mean, that's pretty good in our favor, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can still see the mobile in them. You know, you can still see the speed a little bit, even at the age that he is. You can still see that. Really haven't really taken that many hits because of sitting behind other quarterbacks, you know, on the teams that he were, like the Giants, I believe. Was it? I don't want to get.
He was a starter with the Jets, but then, like, again, I think I would say, I will give him that, because, like, I'm one to say a lot, you know what I mean, on this show, especially, like, that quarterbacks are always the situation that they're put in. You know what I mean? So like, and I would say Gino was put in a bad situation with the Jets, for sure. You know what I mean? At the beginning of his career,
we can all agree that most quarterbacks that go to the Jets nowadays been put in bad situations.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But cause like I said, like I don't fault Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? His time with the Jets, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I even have some little bit of sympathy for Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I still think they got him up out of there. We ain't gonna get into that, but you know. But yeah, I mean, go ahead, bro. My fault.
No, please.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got something brewing here, bro. Like, I mean, this press conference, like, really, you know what I mean, told me something. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like, no, the press conference they just had the other day.
Oh, Spytek and Pete?
Yeah, with John Spytek and
yeah, I was just listening to that this morning. Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, Pete Carroll said, "I'm ready to go. We're gonna coach these guys up." And like I've been preaching this all season, like since they've been, you know, getting this coaching staff, the assistant coaches and everything. I said, this is the coaching staff that's going to be able to. You're going to see the development in the players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you're going to see the growth and
for sure.
the switch. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm so high on this season, because this season is going to really say something because of the coaches. Like if you say 9-8, 10-7, I say I believe in that because of how this coaching staff is set up and how it was built. It was built to win, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I would say
to run the ball.
Would you say it depends on the draft though still too? Like who we get?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Of course.
That's why I'm with you too with the I'm with you with the Shador, because if he's there, like, because I still think that people can't take Gentry before us. Like I'm with Lowe, like the Jaguars could still be looking at him. You know, there's still a couple of teams that could be looking at him before us. But like more and more, like I'm starting to believe that Gentry's there at 6. You gotta take him just for the simple fact that, like, it's like you hear like you say the Spytek and Pete, you know, that type thing, like, and then them mentioning of like, you know, what like Gentry even kind of like in his, like, you know, interview where like he's mentioning the Chip Kelly thing, and that's something that I was talking about last week. Like you see the importance of a great running back, or a good running back in a Chip Kelly's offense. You know what I mean? You see the importance of a good running back in a Pete Carroll's offense. You know what I mean? When Pete Carroll's kind of led teams, you know what I mean? Like I know people would say like Pete Carroll's never, you know, went and drafted maybe a guy high or anything like that, but he's traded for one. I mean, he traded for Marshawn Lynch. You know what I mean? So he knew the value in what a high first round pick running back can do for your team. You know what I mean? So it's like as much as he didn't draft that one, he traded for him. You know what I mean? So like that's why I'm still saying like Gentry is that type of back. You know what I mean? Gentry is that powerful type of back where like that's why it makes so much sense for me. Like if it was another type of offense that we were probably running, where like say like we were still like it's say just for hypothetical, if we were in year 2 of Kingsbury offense, then you know in Kingsbury offense you see the importance of a running back is not so as high. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like you would probably say, okay, we might be looking a different way, but to me it makes so much. That's why it makes, like, as much as people say, oh, you don't take a running back that high or anything like this, but you also see in history where they do take running backs that high, and like I think where teams are going to use him or make a big use to that guy, which I see that in a Chip Kelly offense, a Pete Carroll, you know, ran, you know, a Pete Carroll ran, you know, team, you know what I mean? So it's like I see the importance of a running back like that. So that's why I think it just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense to where like if he's there at 6, bro, like I don't know how people can be down on would be down on that pick if we were to take him at 6. I don't know, man. I just see like a running back like that. Like if it was anybody else, I get the deepness of this running back class, but nobody's Genty.
Nah, I could dig it. And that's why I feel like that's going to be the pick, because I've been saying that, like, man, Genty, it makes just too much sense, bro. Like, he's going to be a massive upgrade to this offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to help. He helps everybody. He's going to help.
Oh, shit. Oh. Okay. Kind of went out real quick, bro. He'll be back right now.
What's up,
man? What are you thinking now? Chilling?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Happy too, man.
Yeah, happy Easter,
shit, we got a double fucking holiday.
Yeah. I'm thinking, are we taking tomorrow off or what? What are we doing? Are we taking tomorrow off? Because if I take tomorrow off, we're gonna do a live today.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I might be off tomorrow. Shit.
They should just let us be fucking off tomorrow, bro. I don't know.
For real, man. I understand, like, you know, it's like it's not a spring break for us or anything like that, but he could give us Monday after Easter, dog. Shit, man.
I know. Yeah. But shit, I know, dude. Like, because I've been gone, bro. Like, just busy and stuff like that. And then after this week, we can go back to normal. Hopefully, at least a little bit of normalcy, man. So you know what I mean. But we're finally gonna get the draft, dog. Like, that's crazy. And kind of bouncing off of what Europe was talking about, man. About the whole Geno Smith and stuff like that. When you're listening to the podcast, right? I mean, not to the podcast, but to the the press conference with Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll and fucking what's the name we're talking about. What's up, bro? You good?
Yeah, man. My partners, they was calling and stuff, and it kept like interrupting. So
yeah.
I apologize.
You're good.
Yeah. Stop hitting my words with him, shit. But no, what I was saying is about the whole Geno Smith stuff and stuff like that. And part of the press conference, when they were talking about it, what they were saying was they don't want to give their hands away. But I think it was Hondo that asked that question. Hondo asked the question, like, so if you guys got a quarterback now, are you not going to go for a quarterback? You know what I mean? And they were kind of like, didn't want to give their hand. Like, he was, well, I'm not going to show you everything. You know what I mean? But it's like, obviously, the way everything works and the way how it's supposed to move forward, the way it should work, you would think Genty will come to us, and but it's just, I think it's already a done deal because they need the running back. And like you're saying, Gabe, as well, like that running game is everything. But them locking down Geno Smith kind of gives them breathing room for the next year or so. The only thing is that I don't know what we're gonna get on the second or third year. But a big part of what I like what Spytech was saying is like they're all on the same page. That's what we haven't seen in a long time. Everybody on the same page.
You can see.
Did you read into it as in? Because I probably maybe I don't know if I'm getting me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but like I read it more of like because I heard where Spytech was like you see. I think you guys are all aware of all the quarterbacks that we brought in for like meetings, and he was like, so like he's still. I think like to me it read off like he's still high on picking a quarterback.
Yeah,
of course,
that's not gonna not happen. They're gonna get a quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, like somewhere in this draft, like he was like, because when he said, because when he read that, I remember that answer too. Like he was like, there was I think you guys are all aware of us bringing like the amount of quarterbacks that we brought in for meetings, like and that's when I was like, okay, so he that's why I was still like when Europe said earlier, like Shador and and Genty, the both names, and Membel too, because all three of them make sense. You know what I mean? But like I think every position we can improve at, but like that's why Shador still makes sense because he was one of the guys brought in for those meetings as well. You know what I mean? So like it's just gonna be crazy dog at 6. They also talked about trading back too and all that stuff. So yeah,
he did say that too. That's what I was gonna say as well.
Number 6 is
so like for me, if we didn't get Geno Smith, I think he would have moved up. I think they would have moved up and stuff like that. That solidified a big part of where Pete doesn't have to really worry about the offense. He already knows what Gino is. He knows how to talk to him. He knows what type of guy he is. So Chip Kelly was already wanting to draft him and from high school to not draft him, recruit him to Oregon. So, Gino and what you're saying to Europe was that like he has a lot of time to sit. He was behind a bunch of bullshit, and right now we're good. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's saying that we should get rid of O'Connell, or there's reports coming out about O'Connell, and I'm not too upset with that. But yet at the same time, he could throw the ball in this kind of offense. So for me, this is like it eases them as far as trying to force. But if Genty's gone, either with Jags or because Jags don't have a running game neither. The running game
y'all don't like. I like what Trav's been doing for them. I mean,
Travis 18.
But he's already getting injured. He was already getting injured, and then the thing is that if you want to double back, like there's nothing wrong. See, a lot of people are overstepping that, like, oh well, the defense in New England they need that defensive player. No, they don't. They got a lot of good defensive players, and they got a defensive minded coach. You know what I mean? That can actually do some shit. And the way Patriots kind of move, they're not very. I've never seen them like get an offensive player high, but yet at the same time,
Mondre Stevenson is a good back, though.
Yeah, he is, but yet him and Genty.
No, I get it. I just think that,
and they got money.
But
they need offensive line help bad, bro. The Jags, both teams.
I think they need I know they got Cooper Kupp, but I think they need a young receiver as well too over there, and they can go fucking T Mac. You know what I mean? If anything, I think that I think it does to a certain point. I get when people say taking a running back that high is iffy, and then I get it more when teams like the Jaguars, like the Patriots, already kind of have a back that's not bad, you know what I mean? Because obviously you could upgrade. Obviously you could always upgrade. When you have like a guy like Ramondre Stevenson, and you have a guy like, you know what I mean? Even we're talking about fucking we're talking about the
Jags,
Travis Etienne. I think like obviously the injury thing is a big iffy, but I think Travis I know because in fantasy football, even I know this is in fantasy football always, but he's a guy that's picked high usually at running back because his production. You know what I mean? He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He could run. You know what I mean? He's always shown that he's a pretty good back. So that's why I'm saying like I get it to a certain point, especially when you're in that situation and you're a team with that many holes. Because like the Jaguars, I think the Jaguars have a lot of different fucking holes where they gotta cover up. You know what I mean? I think they could use a corner. They could use stuff like that to where I think running back's probably not as high. Like would Genty be a great, upgrade for any of those teams? Yeah, but I think we're in more need of a running back, especially for our offense.
Right.
Because that's when we were dead last. You know what I mean? Almost in running. So it's like, that's why it makes more sense for us because we're in so much need of a running back.
Yeah.
And the type of offense we're going to be able to run, like we're in need of a running back. Like it just makes double sense, like if you want to put it. I mean, it's just that's the only reason I say, especially, and then the first couple of teams are going to probably take quarterbacks, especially one of them two. And then there's Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter to where there's enough guys high in the draft to where I don't think Genty makes a lot of sense for those teams, but he makes a lot of sense for us.
Yeah,
but exactly. Remember last year we were looking at what's the name? Everyone's saying Penix. And even though we were lower in the draft, we thought he was going to drop to us. But look at him now, like he's over there, Atlanta, whatever. Not. So those teams that have picked up, like say even the Giants and stuff like that. What if the Giants say, "Fuck, we lost Barkley, let's go get him"? You know what I mean? And see, this is my thing because we've had horrible drafts. I don't want to get like too excited and be like, you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of shit in the draft.
Hey, you ain't far off though because the Giants could do some shit like that.
Yep.
You never know. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm
gonna tell you
I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't think Brian Day was gonna risk his job by taking Genty at 3. 3.
I wouldn't think it would happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't be surprised either. If you know what I'm saying, but if you want to coach somewhere else, then you know what I mean, go ahead and take Genty at 3.
Yeah. If you want to coach somewhere else,
right? But like what Gabe was saying though, man.
Who did they get? Who did the Giants get?
They got Russ and also
and Winston, right?
Yeah, and DeVito. Yeah. There's a short out with all 3 of them, and Russ is eating the sandwich, and then somebody edited that shit up. That shit was hella funny, bro. But it's just crazy because if you think about it like that, the Giants and everybody in the everybody's in win mode right now. So if you look at everybody, like, you know, I think, well, obviously you think, you know, that the Browns are going to end up going, you know, Titans. Was it Titans? Titans, right?
And the only thing with Dave Modo is like he needs to for me, because he's already been there a couple years. He hasn't done shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more important for him to win now. So like that's why I'm saying like he could probably be in a mindset to where like, damn, I have to believe in Russ this year, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if he would take a Genty, because I know Genty could make their offense upgraded too, especially if he really believes Russ is going to be that guy to save his job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they went out to go pay Russ to save his job, that's why I wouldn't be even surprised if the Giants would reach. Like I would still think it was would be a reach for them. Of course. At 3, damn. You know what I mean? At 3, when
I can see them going to get Abdul Carter at 3, then double back in the second, and going to get Jackson if he's there in the second.
Yeah, because they'll be
that'll help him out tremendously.
33. Because they'll be like 33, right? They have like pick 33 or something like that too, or something like 34. Yeah. So they're high second round.
Yeah. You know? See, shout out Psycho, man. He says, you ain't lying. The past drafts have been shit, but I don't think this staff is going to walk in there with their heads up their asses. That is very, very true. I'm more worried about what they're going to do above us. Who's going to try to move up? Who's going to try to trade? Because a lot of these teams, especially above us, and also us, you know, the top 10 teams in the draft, they need a lot of different positions. You know what I mean? And running back is judgmental for every top 10, the top 10. So it's like in that area, you know what I mean? Even look at the Genty said, I love to play for the Cowboys. Cowboys can move up. There's another fucking 22 teams down there that want to move up that say, hey, let's fucking bank on this. So those other teams can kind of move back and get more core players, you know what I mean, in the top 100 or moving forward, you know what I mean? So so that's why it's like it's fucking interesting, you know what I mean? Because they can even trade with us. Like what was the draft that we did? We went down with the Saints. So they can go up to go get fucking Shador if he falls to us.
Oh no, that was just like a question I raised like a couple weeks back where I was like, what if? Because like I was starting to see that like even before the car news came out, which that makes even more sense now that the car news came out. You know what I mean? That he might miss the season because of his, you know, what is it, the shoulder or whatever it is. Like, so it's like they're in, like, if Shador seems to be falling and that's why I like it. And we're at 6 and the fucking, that's why John Spytek was like, if a team comes up to us and offers us a grandfather deal, then we're gonna have to look at it, you know what I mean, and take it. And that's what I was talking about. Like if you're able to, you know, gain another top 40 pick in the chart, and you're only dropping back a couple picks to do it, you know what I mean? Like I still see there's so much value in the top 10 to where there's still a Jalen Walker, you know what I mean? There's still other guys to where I think you can still kind of shift to where, like, who knows, maybe Manbow drops to 9 or something like that, to where, like, I don't know, like, it's just because if teams are trading up, they're trading up for guys, and you're willing to trade down, then that means they're probably interested in somebody you're not, you know what I mean? So your guy might still be sitting there at 9. So like, and if you're gaining a top 40 pick from it, like I was strongly like I would love.
would y'all do this if somebody offered y'all to trade back to like, all right, so let's say like the Bengals offered y'all to move back, offered to move up with us, right? Would you go and get like a Marion Hampton or somebody else since we were going to get a running back and he is?
Depends on what they offer.
Yeah, now, if we don't get Genty in this round, I will go third round running back. You know what I mean? It all depends. I will go third round because that's going to be the closest thing that we can go to. Because second round, it's either going to be. See, a lot of people are looking at defense and stuff like that. I'm not worried about defense because most of the players that were developed under Pete Carroll were under the fourth round and undrafted guys. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm not worried about. Yeah. So I'm thinking the
corners like.
That's how I feel.
No, I agree because you can get corners in like the third round, like Jabbar Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? You can get like what the bull name, the bull Burke, Zay Alexander.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, Zay Alexander. Then the other ball is Zay Frazier. Like you can get them in the third, fourth round, or the, you know what I mean, in the fifth. Great value. Like check my mocks. I got mad mocks with even like corners around that.
Not just that, we even talk about like how the coaching, right? We're talking about the coaching, and like I still believe in like that this coaching staff might be able to develop DCAM better and Trey Taylor better, and like even the guys that we have right now, like the Corey and Bennett's, you know what I mean? The
Devonshire,
like those guys, the Devonshires, you know what I mean? So I think those guys are still going to be able to kind of uplift their game to where, you know what I mean, even like the Palomos, you know what I mean? So so I still think they're going to continue to get better to where like you were talking about earlier, the coaching. I think the coaching is going to make a big difference as well, because you've seen the things that I think that Pete implements to where you've seen his kind of his secondaries always kind of flourished. You know what I mean? So like I would be like I like the guys that we kind of have there, especially like a Trey Taylor that we haven't really seen nothing out of, but like those guys are still guys that we're gonna probably have to like. Do we still have Christopher Smith on here, like out of Georgia? Like he won a national championship in college. You know what I mean? So it's like those guys are gonna battle. They're gonna battle because they're still gonna have to show like that they have the right character and all of that shit for this team. But like I think there's guys there with, especially like a DCAM. You know what I mean? Like I've seen a lot out of him where you've seen rookie mistakes, but you've seen the physical abilities that he had too. You've seen the speed that he had. You've seen like he's a strong corner. I could see him getting better, like a Jacorian Bennett type. You know what I mean? So
who's gonna who I think is gonna have a really a sneaky, really good. Yeah, you gotta watch out for him, man. I did a couple of episodes on him, man. Eric Stokes. Pete Carroll is super high on him. He always talks about him, yo. I believe he's going to put him in the right position
to win.
He's gonna be our Richard. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be our Richard without being Richard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
can Lonnie Johnson be a little bit better here too? You know what I mean? Can Lonnie Johnson also?
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Of course. I've watched them on both of them. They make plays, bro. They make plays. When healthy, they make plays. They make plays.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't even put it necessarily like they have to even go corner late. Like, if they believe in the guy that they have right now in the building. Like, obviously, if you want to get a guy out there that's like that too, but like, I think we need more help. Like a linebacker, we definitely need we need some linebackers in there. Offensive line, we're gonna need like some help there, because you see that position. Like, we got guys like Alex Kappa. I know Coach Miller. He's in a contract thing right now to where, like, if you could not upgrade, but like if you could get a tackle to where you're gonna be able to pay him a lot less money, because I get Coach Miller is still good. I think he's still a good player, because you see like the beginning of his last season was way different from the way he ended last season. You know what I mean? So like I get like he's still a great player, but like you also have to see the what's better for your team too. Like, can you go draft one like a Membao early, and just use them at the right side for now, and make Colton like have to, if he's gonna sit out. But like you have a guy already in the waiting. You know what I mean? So like and a guy that you're not gonna have to overpay. Like, because Colton, as much as he's still good, he's not what he like was 2 years ago either. He's not what he was 2-3 years ago. So like, as Colton's still, and he's 30 years old. Like, I get that that's still not that old, but I'm just saying, like, you could upgrade at that position if you have to, like, at quarterback, running back were needed. Like, I just think that's
so can we go? So all right. So how about this? Let's go. Let's just say, Genty at 6. We can go in there and snatch Anthony Belton in a second. Anthony Belton is really good, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Shout out to Sanjeet. Y'all go check him out. He does film breakdown. We know Sanjeet. He's high on Anthony Belton too. As much as he's high on Membao, he's high on Anthony Belton, and I value what he be saying, because like he knows his offensive lineman, bro. Like that's one.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was gonna say. Offensive line, well, Sanjay, the thing he will break down more than others is like offensive line.
Yeah. So when it comes to offensive line, I'll be like, all right, I know it. And when he raves about Anthony Belton a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some guards in here. There's some tackles that's in here. It ain't really deep, but you can get one in the second and third round. You know what I mean? If they're gonna be battling, or maybe sitting a year or two, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting now, because we're like, I believe in what Pete and Spytek, especially with Pete. I think Pete, especially when they asked that question, that first question in that press conference, like, you see that I like Spytek. Don't get me wrong. I think Spytek is a dude that's going to do a lot of work, a good working with this team and shit like that. But you see that this is also Spytek's actual first GM job, right? Like, he is when he's first like taking over like at the job, not like the assistant GM or anything like that. Like, this is his first GM job, right? So it's like, I still think he's gonna lean a lot on Pete, like, because you've seen that first question where they asked them, like, how are you guys going to evaluate this draft? Like, you would think the GM would be the first one to like kind of answer that question, and you've seen Pete like right away, like, I'm gonna take this one, like, and he was like, we're gonna do this as a collaborative thing. We're going to do this as a collaborative thing, because like, I think Pete is really going to have his hands set on these, especially these first 2 drafts. I'm not saying that John Spytek's not going to just be sitting on his hands or anything like that, but I'm saying that, like, I think he's going to lean a lot on Pete in these first couple of drafts, to where, because I think he wants to see also, give Pete every opportunity to get his type of player in the building.
Can we all agree that you can see the difference from last year and this year?
Oh, yeah.
Like, because you didn't know who was picking who. It was kind of like, I'm gonna say the last couple years, even with the Mayock and Gruden, the Ziegler and what, you didn't know who was picking who. This person was blaming this person on this. You don't see that at all.
Yeah.
This year, this whole season, like, they think, like, they cracking jokes and everything. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, all right, like, I see. This is why I'm saying, like, man, this coaching staff, the GM and them higher ups and them, like, they're all in one. You know what I'm saying?
This feels like almost Reggie McKenzie-esque. It's like him and Del Rio were. That was one of the last good drafts that we've actually had. You know what I mean? I would give Gruden the one. You know what I mean? Well, except for Cleveland Farrell actually went to the Super Bowl and he's actually playing very, very well. But it was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? on some real, I was over here thinking about, I was laughing because I was saying, man, throw Tyree Wilson back in this draft, bro. Redraft his ass like in the third round or some shit. But we're not gonna have a question mark. It's either we're
talking about coaching too. He could get better too, dog. I'm telling you, he has the gifts, like he has the ability. He has the abilities, dog. So I'm just saying, coaching might have been his downfall too. Like, I understand that he's not a 7, like he still hasn't played like anything number 7, like anything round even related. But he also, like, I've seen enough to where, like, if he has the right coaching and he puts it together to where, like, Pete's on his ass and makes him compete, like what they're talking about, like, and they actually get everything out of him, dog. Like, he's a undeniable, like, to where, like, he's fucking humongous. Like, I seen him in training camp, dog. Like, when I went to training camp, he's bigger than everybody.
Yeah. You remember Cliff Averill when he played for the Seahawks? Or did he play? Did he play for the Seahawks?
It was him and Michael.
Get that type of production out of Tyree Wilson. Watch, because that's what Pete Carroll do, bro. He brings the absolute best out of all the players, bro, and that energy, his energy feeds off the players. And then the energy off the players feeds off the other coaches, bro, and it just bounce around, and that's why they play so well. And we're gonna see that instinct of bondage and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hope we go to in training camp. I hope we go to Napa, because we ain't gonna be at home. We'll be somewhere far where it just be the team. You know what I'm saying? Just be the team, the coaches, and the players. You know what I mean? Let that bondage sink in and everything. You know what I'm saying? Let that energy gel. So when they come back, I guarantee, bro, they gonna be fired up and ready, bro. I just feel I just have so much high hopes on this coaching staff, bro. Like, I'm not gonna stand down on it. I'm gonna stand on all 10 on the whole season. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that's important too, though. Like, I don't think, like, it's just with Tyree. The only thing I will say, it's up to Tyree, is, like, I get what you're saying, like the Pete thing. I say that with Pete, with the player that he's going to pick, but, like, the one thing I will say is with Tyree is he has to want it too, because this isn't Pete's guy either. Like, can Pete get him? Can Pete get him to want to be like that? Like, hopefully, that's the hope that, like, because if Pete is able to get that out of him, which is what we're banking on, like, then I can see Pete. I can see Tyree being a very good player. But if not, like, it's like, because that's the one thing I will say with Tyree. It's how much he actually wants it, because he has everything, dog. Like, he has he's tall, he's fucking has long arms, he's strong, he's fucking has, so it's like, can't, like, it's because, like, when Spike Tech said something like about this in the press conference, where he was like, we also can't make guys, like, want to be competitive. They have to have that in them.
You can't draw it out of them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we can't get, like, so hopefully Tyree has that in him, and now it's just up to Pete, and now then, like, to kind of draw it out. Like, that's the only question. Like, does he even have it in him? If he does, like, Pete's going to be able to get him to, I think, to his potential. But I think that's the question mark for sure with Tyree.
Right. He gonna get you there. You just gotta. I agree though, Gabe. Like, he gonna get you there. You just gotta want it. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it. I know that he hears the noise and stuff like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I believe he wants to get better. You know what I'm saying? I just think last year's coaching staff was inexperienced, like, all through. You probably had, like, a couple of people like Joe Philpin and you know what I'm saying, like Rob Leonard and like they already knew because they vets. But, like, the rest of the coaching staff last year, including AP, I just think they didn't really know what they were doing, bro, as far as developing players. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where that changes this year. You know what I'm saying? So
I for sure
could be wrong about Tyree. He could not want it, and like Gabe said, he could not want it. You know what I'm saying? So I could be wrong. But just knowing this coaching staff, I think I'm just because he was a high pick though. You feel me?
I would say too though, like last year, the big thing issue though was like, and that's the thing. Every year we have to watch out for. The injury shit was crazy too. Like on top of like that, we weren't experienced at head coach and shit like that. Like on top of that, like just the injuries like seem to pile up. Like that's what we have to cross our fingers on too, Dick, because I see that's why we got rid of some of the players that we did get rid of. You know what I mean? Because they had some, especially Diablo, the Hobbs. They had a lot of those issues. You know what I mean? Especially they came at a higher price than I think that we were willing to give. So it's like, and they're getting. I think that as long as they're getting players that they ain't necessary, like you say, like they're high on Stokes. You know what I mean? They're high on Stokes. They're high on Lonnie Johnson. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're high on Chin because he basically got the longest contract out of any of these free agents. You know what I mean? 2 years.
Got 2 years.
Like, so it's like you see. I'm just saying, like they're getting in their guys. So it's like, hopefully these guys are able to, be that those guys that we could depend on being available, because that was a big problem last year. We had, like, at the end of the year, we had to like throw in, like I was saying earlier, D-Cam in there, because we were down to our 5th, 6th corners. You know what I mean? We were down to our, we had no Max Crosby. We had no, like from the 4th game, we had no Christian Wilkins, a brand new, defensive tackle. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're dealing with so many injuries all year. Hopefully that doesn't hit us again this year as bad as last year. I know that we're going to deal with some here and there because it's football, but damn, that shit was crazy last year.
Man, so I just hope it ain't the main injuries, like the main guys. If we do get hit with injuries, let's just not hope it's the main guys like last year, like Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that was, like, I really wanted to see him, Kuntz. Like, Kuntz, you can see it. Like, it took all the breath out of Red Nation when we found out Kuntz got hurt, bro. I know it I was hurt, bro. I was like,
that was like a bad omen.
Oh,
that was like a bad omen. Like, that was like a foreshadow to the year. Like, before the year even started, our guy that we were already counting on being like our next big, defensive end to be the, to pair up with Max, got hurt before the even season started. And that was like a foreshadow to the season. And everybody started getting hurt right after that.
You knew you was gonna be like,
Epps in the first game.
Damn, Kuntz. Like, we was like, damn, Kuntz. Like, all right.
And then we lost Epps for the season.
Might be okay.
Epps our starting safety in the first game for the season. Christian Wilkins the 4th game. Like, we were fucking shit, man. Like, damn, one after another. Max was already hurt from game 3. He was already hurt.
Yeah, to like they had to put a plug on it. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like I don't even want to go back to that. I'm sorry. But it was crazy. Like, I was like, dang, bro, like we dropping like 5. And that usually when you see other teams get hit like that, you like, dang, I feel for them. But you would never think it's like, dang, my team get hit like something like that. Like, dang, it's like,
yeah, that shit was crazy.
And that's the thing. I think we didn't have the coaching staff to bounce back on that.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's the thing. That was like the compounding, problem after problem. Like, we were dealing with, when you were dealing with that many injuries, you want to have an experienced coach to kind of navigate through it. You know what I mean? But like, when you're dealing with that many injuries on a rookie head coach, it just compounds the fucking problems. You know what I mean? And it's just, and we got what we got last year. That's exactly why we ended up with 4 wins. You know what I mean? It's just that was the product of that. I'm not like, obviously it's a very big upgrade. I think they know this year because Pete, you've seen like, and it's still yet to be seen because obviously we could all say this like to all day. I do believe in it, but like it's like we still got to see the product on the field. Yeah, and that's gonna be the biggest touch. Like I do believe that we're gonna be a lot better, but it's just we've been this franchise has been hurting for so bad too, like for so long too. Like I get that we've had our little ups, little peaks here and there. 2016, 2021. You know what I mean? When we had a little bit, back to the playoffs or whatever like that. But it's like even in those years, bro, you see how injuries in 2016, you know, like the fucking horrible calls, and again, let's come back to haunt us in fucking 2021 against the Bengals. You know what I mean? With the fucking phantom whistle, and you know what I mean? Like I forgot who it was, but that threw it out at the 1 yard line, and we were at the 1 yard line because he didn't let it go out of bounds, because we would have got it at the 40 instead of the 1 yard line. Like, it was just crazy things, and it's just, this franchise has been so long that it's just, we're just hoping right. on better, man. Like, and I see better.
I know last year I was like, man, when is this gonna change, bro? I ain't gonna cat like. I was like, when is this gonna change, bro? Like, this can't be life, bro. Like, this can't be football life, bro. Like, for real. Like, this can't be. I went from like watching us as a kid when I was in high school, going to the playoffs, going to the Super Bowl. When we went to the Super Bowl, even though we lost, I seen my team like, and then from going through the growing pains of the 2-14s, the 4s and 12s and stuff, and it's like you get to this point right now, and it's like, you know what I mean? Last year, it's like, yo, when is this going to be a good football life? Like, when can we have a good? And then boom, this happens. You know what I'm saying? You can feel the change. You can feel the growth. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say AP. You know what I'm saying? AP brought new breath of fresh air to the culture. Well, can we all say that Pete and Spytek and them brought new life to the culture right about now from what they've been doing, and how you can feel the change? Because if you didn't feel the change, you wouldn't believe. You'd be like, all right.
I just hope it translates, dog, because like that's the thing. Like, these players, and I hope, and that's what I'm saying. Do we have enough of these, like the guys that are left over on our team and all of that? Are those enough of like? Is there enough character in those guys that Pete can turn those guys into? I like that we've gotten enough players to where, okay, these guys might be a change because Pete sees something in them, right? Like the Chins, the Roberts, the Devin Whites, like you know, they're starting to accumulate to where like they're getting their type of player, right? So,
right.
Is there enough guys? The question now is there enough guys left over from last year's group to where Pete sees enough, you know, character in them to where like it translates for this year? Like, I get that Pete's here for 3 years, and he will. I think he will get this ship straight at the end of his run here. But like, is there enough guys left over? Because I know that's the only question I have. Like, is there enough guys left over to where this year will reflect that, and like he's able to change those guys into like mold those guys into his guys too? Because that's why I'm thinking more second year. I'm thinking more second year because hopefully it prove me wrong, because that's what we all want. We want to win, but I'm thinking more second year because, like, you know how they say it's hard to change the whole team in 1 year. So like that's the thing. Like, there might be enough stragglers. Like, hopefully not. That's the thing. But like, I'm thinking that he's gonna get all of his guys, all of the guys that he wants in by year 2. But it's just getting these other guys. He is getting rid of some of them too. Like, you've seen him already gotta get rid of just release fucking the corner. What's his name? Jack Jones. Yeah. You gotta see him get rid of just Jack Jones and stuff like that. So hopefully he's getting rid of those guys that are going to cause problems, you know what I mean, in the locker room, to where it's easier to mold those other guys that are left over.
He's ready to go. He said in the press conference, we going. We ready to go. You feel me? So I think that's why I'm saying, bro, like, he ready. If you ain't with it, then you ain't playing. Point blank period. I'm gonna get somebody in there. I don't care if he's younger. I don't care if he's middle aged. I don't care if he's old. We gonna get him in there. If he gonna play and he wants to play and he gonna show us, he going in there. If you don't want to show us, then we gonna teach you how to. And if not, then you got to go. He's ready, bro. He's come back to prove himself, bro. He didn't take that year off just to be like, you know, to fiddle around. And he's 70-some years old. That's the case. No, he can sit underneath the sun.
I get that part. The only thing I'm saying is why I say year 2 is like I feel that he's still going to get these guys to where he wants. Like even the guys that he's going to draft this year, like the guys that he got in free agency, like he's going to mold them to the guys that he wants, and they're going to be like I think at their best by year 2 under like after like getting 1 year of coaching from him. Will they be a lot better than last year? I think so. That's why I'm saying more of in the range of like 7 to 9 wins. I think that's where we're at, like where we're like slated to be at right now, like 7 to 9 wins right now. Like, can we get a lot better from like the draft? Like if we hit like on these picks, hell yeah. But like I'm just saying, like right now, that's what I'm saying. And that's the only thing I tell people kind of like to pump the brakes on, like where I hear people saying like, oh no, like we're gonna be like a 12-win, 13-win team. Like, nah, we're not gonna be that yet. No. But I think that we're for sure going to see this team starting to go in the right direction. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I would like. I've been talking about this offseason is like we still need to have time under Pete. Like he still has like barely. He's only had barely like voluntary workouts. You know what I mean with this team. So it's like he still needs to have put his imprint in these guys. You know what I mean? He still needs to get his draft picks in the building and kind of like hopefully they're able to hit right away. You know what I mean? That's the wish. That's the hope. Like shit. Like if we hit on 11 wins, fuck shit. That would be crazy, and that'll be a fucking to where I'll be like, oh damn, that's great. But like even 7 to 9 wins, bro, that's a great improvement to where you see this team already gonna be going in the right direction. Because like I think Jack said it earlier, you see by the end of his tenure here, most of the guys that were here before him will probably not be here, or they'll have to like get with the program. Yeah, you know what I mean. Exactly. So it's like, and it'll be a complete type of. I think I'll be a complete culture change by then, and like I think by then you can see, you'll be able to say like this team is back into contention to where they're contending in the AFC every year. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where we want to be at. I think that's where our goal is. Like, we don't want to just be good for 1 year, and that's where I like where we're heading with this team. But I also will say, like, okay, I know every team wants to go to the Super Bowl, but like, let's just, like, let's get I know. Because if we put too much expectation on Pete, if we put too much expectation and then say we only win 7 games, I don't want to hear people already yelling for his job because they're expecting more. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right. Now I like. That's what I'm saying. Like 9 wins is cool with me. We can 9 wins, maybe win win 1 win supposed to make it 10. You feel me? And I like
what Kenna put right here, and a lot of people are kind of like we've talked about it too when we got Chin and these 1-year deals and so forth and so forth. And shout out Kenna, happy New Year's, Kenna. I see you put that shit earlier. So when Pete leaves in 3 years, it's going to be a complete roster change. All the players are matching this contract. So that's actually pretty much a lot of us been saying that, and I agree with you, Jack. But also, if you really, really look at it, he's not coming here to lose. He wants to come in and he wants to come and win no matter what. He wants to change the culture, and he wants to say, hey, I went from USC and won. I went over here, made a bad mistake, but then everyone kind of like said that I couldn't do it. Then he comes in, and he's not coming over here to kick back. He wants to win. So it's like, I'm saying, like, playoffs is very, very, with this staff and the way they're looking at it, even before the draft, bro, just the mentality that this staff has and and what Pete Carroll brings to the game. Yeah, it's a complete night and day. Let's go back to Gruden. Gruden was there for 4 years, didn't really do anything, right? He started kind of getting it going, but we had a losing season with him. It kind of hurt him. Then coming in with Josh McDaniels and stuff like that, we already knew what he was going to do. He destroyed the team. I'm not saying Derek Carr was going to be the savior, but he held a lot of those guys back, especially him and DA, because they had the familiarity and stuff like with Kuntz, not playing Kuntz because he was fucking getting in the backfield and stuff like that. Like, you should award that. You know what I mean? So he was just a bad coach. And then you get AP coming in, and AP didn't have the experience. You know what I mean? So it's like he was kind of that. So
when like actually a owner, like, because you've seen how I was gonna say how fucking Mark, when Mark hired Gruden, that was a crazy ass deal. 10 years,
yeah.
Right? So
he
like
was desperate. He was desperate.
And you knew he was going to get rid of him.
Right.
And you seen though that like these coaches, even though sometimes how they might start off bad or whatever, like, and because you've seen how bad we were the first year with him, especially with him trading away Amari, him trading away Khalil Mack, you know what I mean, and trying to do all of that stuff to where people were calling for him the first year. You know what I mean? People were calling for him in his first year also too. But
yeah,
I was pissed. Especially, I was mad that he gave DC that money. I was screaming for Khalil Mack to get that contract. DC should have never got that contract. And I said, and I was saying way back then, this before I even thought about being a content creator or anything. I was saying back then to my peoples, this is gonna screw us. If I can curse, this is gonna fuck us. You know what I'm saying? Back because in the long run, giving DC that contract, bro, for real.
No, what I was trying to get like even though with that bad contract, what I was trying to get to though is just that, like, even with that like bad year, you seen though that Gruden was like starting even in his third year, like when you don't give up on a coach and you actually go through it, like that's what I want to see with Pete. Like, even though he even only wins 5-6 games, right? Like, but you see an improvement in the team. Like, you see, and like we can't be calling for his job right away just because the thing was Gruden, like I was one of them too. After that first year and him trading away Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack was my favorite Raider at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
him trading away even Amari Cooper and shit like that was like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? But you seen, like, if the fucking NFL don't mess with us again with the email shit, and then especially with obviously, you know, the Ruggs situation, that was a player that went out and did something dumb on his own. You know what I mean?
I thought Arnett was a bad
we were on the right. But you seen that we were already on the right trajectory again. You know what I mean? You see we were kind of on the right trajectory. We were 3-1 the beginning of that year, dog. Like, you know what I mean? We were starting to play really good again. We were starting to get back on the right trajectory because, like, as much as we wanted to, you know, like, say, like, you know, be down on Gruden that first year, like, he was starting to mold his team again, starting to get his, you know, the team into his mold again. You know what I mean? And we got derailed by some off the field shit, but you see, like, I still think that Gruden would still probably be here. Like, if none of that stuff happens, obviously that's what it coulda, shoulda. But if those email shit and Ruggs don't do like that shit, like, I still think Gruden is still here.
We're in the playoffs, bro. We're in the playoffs. We went to the playoffs that year.
Yeah, but I mean, Gruden was already on the right trajectory. You know what I mean? Like he was already starting to build that sustained type of, you know, like sustain at least, you know, competing. You know what I mean? In the division.
But see, he had time though. He had 10 years, 100. He got 10-year, $100 million deal. Like, bro, he had time. Like, he got 3 years.
I just want to see the nation. I just want to see the nation give Pete his time, dog. Like, he got signed for 3 years. Give Pete his time, regardless of how this first year, regardless of how it shapes up. Like, we gotta give Pete his time because he deserves it. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. You know what I mean? He's built character and like he's built like chemistry in every locker room he's been in. Every player that played for him talks up about him. You know what I mean? So it's like we just gotta give him his time, regardless of what his thing. I hope he proves me wrong that like, and we are even a playoff team in year one. But all I'm saying is, let's just give Pete his time.
No, I can dig it. I totally agree.
Yeah,
I'm on board with you. Bro. Let's give him his time. But you know how he playing it like he ain't got no time. That's what I'm loving about his mindset. Is like, I ain't got time. I'm trying to get this joint right. That's why you hear him in every press conference. Hey, we finna go. I'm ready to go. Hey, you know what I'm saying? When he got introduced, he telling Max and him, hey, yo, Max, hey, let's go. We in the building. Like, you feel me? We gonna do this thing.
I was looking up when he drafts, right? Pretty much to what I'm looking at right now, he's drafted 1, 2, 3 running backs in the first round. He's drafted he's had some good drafts as well and stuff like that. A lot of offensive linemen too. So right now, just looking at the way he's looking at the game and stuff like that, he's gonna go ahead and do that. I believe that he's gonna do that. And most of the players that he's
traded for a first round. And he traded for a first round running back.
He traded for a first round. So so I don't see him doing that. So like if he trades up for another lineman and stuff like that, and shout out Kenna, he had asked a question about the Colt Miller thing right here. Question to the panel, he goes, and the nation, does Colt Miller get re-signed? I personally believe he does. I'll give him another 3-4 year contract and then get him in there, once training starts. I know the mandatory because, like you said, Gabe, he is a little bit younger and he did get injured last year. Right. But price is going to be he's going to have to understand, like, hey, man, look, we're trying to build something. We want you here. He is basically, once he started playing, he was shut down, bro. He only had 1 sack, like I think 16 pressures. And I don't want to sit back and shit on this guy that's been a Pro Bowl, tackle for I don't know how long. You know what I mean? And he was here with Gruden.
I love Max. But you gave Max his bread, give my man Cohen.
Yeah, I love Max. I don't mind that.
Shout out to whatever all he's doing. You feel me? But I also love Colton too, man, because I was one of the ones when people were saying. And like I said, this is way before I even started this. You know what I'm saying? I was telling people like, yo, Colt Miller, when they were shitting on him after his first hit, I said, bro, he's going to be one of our best linemen. Don't worry about that first season. Then look, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have a really good, almost a great career. You feel me? Yeah. So I want Colton to come back, man.
Yeah, I want him to come back too. I think it'll be the height of stupidity if we get rid of him and throw a rookie in there, especially with Geno. Geno needs some stability there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you already see what's name being focused with Max every single day. So we got our center. I'm thinking we're needing a guard. You know what I mean? Mumford.
Just the average money for a top. I'm just saying top 5 tackles. So this is the average money for a top 5 tackle right now. It's $27 million.
Okay, so but what is he ranked at?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if he's if that's why I'm saying it depends on his price, because that's why I'm saying it depends on his price, because if he's depending on trying to get paid like a top tackle, like, then are we really willing to pay him? I get he's been one of those in the year, like he's been ranked as a top 5 tackle, at a point in his career, but is he a top 5 tackle and is he wanting to get paid like a top 5 tackle right now?
I think he's healthy.
He's okay. Look, PFF got him at 14th average all the way across the board. Pass blocking, he's 11th. So let's average it out to 12th. So if we give him top 10 money,
I'm just trying to put like a
price.
Like a fucking kind of like a gauge, gauge, right? So top 5 average, the top is 28 million or something like that, and like the bottom of the top 5 is 25 million. Yeah. So like the average is somewhere around 26 to 27 million for a top 5, a top 5 tackle, right? So where does Miller sit? That's why I keep saying what's his price. If he's looking at somewhere where like 23, 25 million, somewhere right there, I mean, I like Colton, but damn, I mean, if you were to take like a deal, like say like make it say like anywhere 15 to 20 million, I'll do it right now. You know what I mean? But it all depends on the price. Does he want to get paid like a top 5 tackle?
What up?
What's up? What,
he's getting 12 million a year. Nah, he needs to at least get at least 20. If you giving him 20, and then like a DB right here, shout out DB, bro, says 3 years, 60, 65. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, I would like 20. 20 would be cool too. 20 would be
What about 22?
22, 25, that I'll give him. I'll breathe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too mad at it. You know what I mean?
I'm
because
cool with it in the mid. Hey, if you willing to, my thing is you willing to work in the middle, and we can build on this thing.
But this is what I was talking about. Agreeing with you earlier, like, or are you willing to let him like call him on his bluff and make him play out his last year on 12 million and go draft Membao in the first round?
Nah, even if we did that, no. There's like, okay, look, who's saying it right here? We people make we let Miller go, right? It makes 0 sense to make Miller go, and then even Gino said that. I'm gonna need Miller over there. I'm gonna need that guy. You know what I mean? Because let's keep it a buck. Even though he hasn't been hit a lot, he is old. And he needs that. So why not give him what he needs to succeed? Yeah. So 20 to 25, bro, I'm not even mad at it. Fuck it. Who cares? If I have to go buy some extra jerseys to pay him more, let's go. You know what I mean? Fuck it. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I think he needs to be on the field, get as much burn as he fucking possibly can, and practice time with Gino so he feels comfortable. I want him in the building. So if we have to pay him right now to get him in the building and give him that contract, we'll give you bonuses. We'll give you signing bonuses for being in practice, for being in all that stuff.
He's been. Can we agree? He's been as just as consistent as Max, yo. Since we saying everybody he's been just as consistent as Max has on offense than as Max been on defense. So why not? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why not work with him and make it happen? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying pay him a boatload of money because I know we haven't been doing that, and that's good. But at least, work with him to be able to keep him.
Yeah, see, Ken is even saying he's only 29 years old and he's the best offensive lineman we got. Ain't no fucking lie there. So why not pay him? And I don't think a record breaking, but based off his stats right now, and it shows that he is ranked 5th playing snaps played at left tackle. What I'm asking is that so you are comfortable paying him the 25? Is he all right? Yeah, I'm good with that. But see, I'm thinking like this: as long as it doesn't go on the books this year, and then we give him a nice fat chunk, and then pay him the next year or after, you know what I'm saying? Because you figure if we play successfully, we're gonna be drafting in 26 like at 20. Probably even like 25. I'm looking at 25. I want to be 25, 26 out there. You know what I mean? Then we can go pick up maybe his replacement or somebody to move forward. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, that money that we're going to need, because a lot of players are going to get cut. A lot of players, are a lot of undrafted guys that they've looked at during the draft that don't make the team or don't, you know what I mean? Whatever, whatnot. There's going to be a lot of different guys coming out. We can get a guard right now, because then if we get a guard this year, get a fucking tackle next year, then we're building for the next 2 years. So right now, what we need are the key positions. And one of the key positions is not to go for a tackle in the first fucking round.
And we still got young guys. We still got young guys from last year and the year before too that are still on the line. That can also. That's why I'm saying this coaching staff going to be able to develop them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would like he's saying right here, maybe we can just guarantee all his money this year and pay him next year. There you go. See, that's the type of shit I'm talking about.
I like Colton. I think we need more help at guard, to be honest.
Yeah. At guard.
I like Parham, but I'm still not comfortable with Meredith and Alex Kappa on the other side. Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be rotational pieces.
That's what I mean. Like I'm bigger on going to draft a fucking guard high or something like that, because especially and a guard you don't have to go a guard. Drafting a guard high is not first round either. Like, drafting a guard high is second, third round. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's why I think we need more help at guard to where we can solidify the line more like that, like to where I think Parham would be better when he's sitting under a second year Glaze on that side, and then having JPJ for sure at center. You know what I mean? And then you have another stud at guard over here and Colton Miller on the side of him. You know what I mean? So that could solidify the line more there. So like I think we need more help at guard, to be honest.
I would say one left guard. I would say
I'm with you guys. It's just that I like the 25 million is just, and that's a lot. It is a lot of money, but I mean, it's worth it though. If he performs like he did in the second part of last year, to where that's the way he's performed most of his career anyway with the Raiders.
I believe he's healthy. I believe he's healthy. You know what I'm saying?
That is a top tackle in this league. If he plays like that is a top tackle in this league, and he does deserve that money because I mean, Laramie Tunsil's the top 5, the 5th guy on that list at 25 million. To where like, if Colton's at the top of his game and he is playing like we know Colton to be, I'll take him over Laramie Tunsil. Even though Laramie Tunsil is a very good player too, but I would take Colton over him because Colton has been an All-Pro.
Look, he's been playing like a top 5, top 7 tackle for years. And then when he got that injury and it derailed him a little bit, people dropped him to like 12. He's still, once he gets healthy and back, just like the rest of them, Coots, Christian Wilkins, and Max, they all going to be healthy this year and be back at the top of their game. You know what I'm saying? It's just about them getting healthy. But I believe everybody's going to be healthy this year and ready to rock. You know what I'm saying?
And before we keep going though, too, like, hey, make sure, like, we have 53 in the building right now. Make sure you guys go follow the homie right here. Go follow his channel at, go ahead, shout it out. What is it? The show called?
This TheYurpJerz Raiders podcast, yes sir. So you know what I mean, y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying, and like I said, man, I appreciate you guys for bringing me on. Y'all, like I said, y'all been shouting me out in y'all lives, and I always been in y'all lives since the first day I came across you guys, and what I mean, I just want to say salute, and I appreciate y'all, for the love, because I was able to go live. Now I'm able to go live now and everything because of you guys' live. So like I said, I appreciate y'all and salute, and y'all go look at my lives and my channel, man. I always shout you guys out for real, man. And shout out Coach Gravy too, man. I wish he was here, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Shout out Gravy, bro.
He'll be here during the draft, and we're gonna be live during the draft, man. So yeah, man. For that, we're gonna pull up some people too, because I know that we want to get their reactions during the draft. You know what I mean? So we'll send out some invites, you know what I mean, during the draft, you know what I mean? So you free during the draft shit, just we're most likely going live all 3 days, right? For draft or something like that?
Yeah. I know sure. I know for sure I'll be here on the
Thursday
Friday, for sure. Yeah.
First round, Friday, second. Yeah, so for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up
cool pulling up, it ain't nothing. I'm cool putting up, giving y'all my insight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've been doing a lot of mocks because of y'all too. Y'all did that last mock, man. I forgot what's bold in. I forgot y'all had dude up on there. I forgot his name.
Farrell.
Yeah, Farrell, man. Shout out Farrell. I apologize. Yeah, man. I thought you guys was gonna get what? I think y'all traded back to get Miro or something, and y'all wind up not getting him. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he tricked us, dog. He tricked us.
Yeah.
I
was like, damn, y'all. I was like, that's trash. But after that night, I started. I'm like, all right, maybe I can, start doing some mocks. So I started doing a lot of mocks. So I got about like from there to today, I probably got like 9 mocks so far. So y'all go check them out on my posts. I've been posting them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So y'all go check them out. So I do some with trades. I do some without trades and stuff. So y'all definitely can check out the ones with the trades, because I definitely got some good some good ones, man. I got some good future picks and everything, man. So yeah, I go check that out, man. Yeah, man. So yeah.
Check this out. As far as Miller is concerned, Andrew Thomas is with the New York Giants, right? And he's ranked 11th overall. He's getting paid $117 million.
See?
Oh, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
And Cole Miller is only making 24. Yeah.
If he's coaching that we know, I'm cool with paying the 25 to something like that. You know, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Like, especially if he takes like 20, shit, I'll do it now. Do it 2K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if he's willing to take 20 for the next 3 years, like, do that shit 2K. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Nah, I think Cole Miller is from 7th to 12th. He's about better from them range. He's better than most of them tackles within that range. You know what I'm saying? You can go as high as 6. You know what I'm saying? I think he's better than them. When he's healthy.
He was coming off a shoulder injury like that, to where he came back earlier in the year. He struggled, but I think that like he for sure, like Flo mentioned earlier, he for sure got that shit correct later on in the season. The whole second half of the season, he only gave up 1 sack, and basically, you know what I mean? So it's like
crazy.
I think that he was, and he's gonna be better this year because he didn't suffer any injuries, not going through any off-season surgeries or anything like that. To where I think he's just been getting. I think he's probably heard the noise to where he probably thinks he lost a step. He's probably trying to get his bag anyway. So I think he's gonna come back this year ready to prove something anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that it'll be a good idea to re-sign him out anyway. I just think they're waiting for the draft. You know what I mean? Waiting for the draft to see what they got to do, see what picks they get, and then we'll be able to see what. Because I still see that we have money left over. So
yeah,
I think that's not the issue. We're gonna be able to pay him. It's just I think we're gonna still wait and see with the movement of the draft and all of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with waiting after the draft, because he said it. He was on point too, and that's one thing about them too. They ain't playing. Hey, we ain't talking about no type of contracts, no nothing. Y'all want to know about that? Y'all gonna know when we let it out. You feel me? So I think that was good on their part too. For real. But I think we're gonna we look. Cole Miller.
Now we got 42.
Gonna be fine. And can I just say this too? For them putting that out there, I thought was messed up that he's not coming to off-season workouts. Let me tell you, there's 20 people already. There's 20 players on our team right now that's not at off-season workouts. So y'all don't worry about them be listening to that bull, yo, for real.
Yeah.
They're like Spytech said, they're voluntary workouts. So it's like if they don't want to be there, they don't have to be there. They're like
exactly. So I hate when it comes to the Raiders, they always try to shit on us and beat us.
Has to be stories. They try to make the stories. They're slow news days, so they have to try to make their stories. And he ain't there, and he needs a contract. You know what I mean, for next year. So it's like people are gonna make the deal, but I still don't think that. I think that they're smart enough. The new regime is smart enough to know that he's important, and I think that it'll come around to that. It's gonna come around to where they're gonna pay him. They're gonna end up extending him, but there's just no rush on it. It's voluntary workouts. They'll get him in there. They'll get him in there probably before the mandatory shit. So, and I don't see Colton being that type of player anyway. So, I see. So I just think he'll end up getting paid. I think he's something like somebody said earlier. Like it don't make sense to have Geno, a new quarterback like that and not pay the tackle. You know what I mean? And like have him, you know what I mean? Because that's the guy that's going to be protecting his blind side. So,
fact.
I think he'll come around to it.
So it's like, okay, I'm trying to look at it, see how much base salary we're looking at right here. So Christian Wilkins is making 8, Max is making 32, Geno's making 24, Colt Miller's only making 12. You know what I mean? If we can bump that up by $8 million, that'll be perfect, I think. Signing bonus is only at 3, and that's pretty much already gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Malcolm Kuntz get 5. There's no reason why he should be only making that if he's going to be the anchor. He's not going to be, is the anchor. You know what I mean? Everybody else needs to earn their spot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm looking all the ways down to even Devin White. Devin White, You know what I mean? Everyone's like excited that he's coming and stuff like that, but he has to earn that shit. And I think Coach Miller's been here since Oakland. You know what I mean? So all this shit and the regime changes, he's our Max Crosby on offensive line, and he needs to be there because even with that shoulder surgery, even when he was hurt at the end of the season prior, and then when Mumford came in, Mumford did a great job. Don't get me wrong and stuff like that, but overall though, this guy needs to be paid, and there should be no conversation about it.
Not even, and to add what Lowe said, hey, this man's I didn't even realize this until the other day, but they said that he's been playing through multiple ankle injuries also. Yeah. And that's at high level. So the injury that he had was like that was the worst injury he's had his whole career. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, Colton's been healthy throughout his whole career, except for
he only missed one game. No, I think before last year, he only had missed like one game in his whole career or something like that.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? Like the guy's durable. He can stay on the field. It's just getting back to it's now. He showed them last couple of games that half season and last year. He showed, all right, I could hold it down. I'm back. Give me the off season. Boom. You giving him the off season now. Now it's time that I see he's going to turn up.
I think
that's one guy I know. That's one guy I ain't gonna lie. Like I have no problem with it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no questions about him. No nothing. Like Cole Miller is one of them, yo.
Yeah, I think what people are talking about right here, are we gonna be going live for the chat because like people are on different timing, and I get that. That's why I think we have it set to where we're gonna go live right after they pick, right? To where like it's our reaction.
I don't. Do you want to? I would rather go live through right when they start picking. I think that we should be live. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Then, cool. Yeah. I'd rather go through the top 10. You know what I mean?
I don't really even care if some people put it in the chat because at the end of the day, I don't really want to. I'm just interested in who we're getting. I don't care if I see it. I mean, I'm gonna be watching it on TV, but like I just want I want people to actually. I do get why being live during when I find out, no matter what, if I find out through the chat or if I find out through the TV, I just want people to be able at least to see the reaction of what the actual reaction of when I find out. You know what I mean? Like what?
Right. It doesn't matter.
What is the first pick and what is the first fucking
Yeah. Hey, I want to answer this real quick for Kenna because Ken always be putting into the questions and stuff like that. But we're gonna be live pretty much the whole draft. I want to answer this, and I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here?
Yeah, for sure. Because I have to go get ready already too.
Yeah, I know. I gotta finish doing all the stuff that I gotta do, man. Fuck crazy ass shit that happened last night with Walmart delivery, man. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. But anyways, Ken is saying right here, and I was actually thinking about this shit. Miller, Meredith, JPJ, Mumford, and Glaze. Now, I know Mumford's a right tackle. Glaze is a right tackle as well. But I was actually thinking about it when we were talking about it. The only guard that we need is going to be on the left side. So you think that it would be good for Mumford and Glaze to be right guard and right tackle? I mean, that is a good question. And it kind of coincides with what Jack was asking here as well.
Who's playing right tackle?
I don't know. I like Mumford because he has the extra year.
Yeah,
so
I just think this last year, dog. Like Glaze, for Glaze to beat him out in his first year, like I had confidence in Mumford too, but for Glaze to surpass him so fast, and then for Mumford never to get his job back at all, basically, dog. Like and let's Glaze. I think Glaze only sat out because of I think he had a concussion or something like that. I don't know what it was, but he sat out a game. To where Mumford played back 1 year and he struggled again, when that game that he came in. So, I just think Mumford lost his confidence. I don't know, like if this coaching staff, like we're saying, the coaching staff, but can he get his confidence? But I think Glaze kind of already showed that he kind of surpassed him already.
Yeah. So you thinking? So I'm thinking that as well. I know Mumford's. I think isn't Mumford a little bit bigger than Glaze though?
Yes, Mumford's huge, dog.
Yeah, he's like a big ass dude. So a big ass guard, that's very rare. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're talking about
now they got some big guards in the draft that's coming up that I've seen, like Xavier.
You're talking about Mumford at guard though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because so it's either going to be one of the two. You know what I mean? So it's like, because
he played guard at one point in Ohio State. I think he played guard at one point at Ohio State, and he moved to tackle.
But is he better at guard? If he's better at guard, I don't mind.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. If you're looking at the offensive line, you're gonna have a shorter tackle. I mean, I don't give a fuck height or whatever. I don't care if he's 5'10". You know, if the guy's fucking making the blocks, you know what I mean? Yeah,
right.
But like I said, I'd rather just go maybe draft the replacement already, because especially if they're high on a guard, because I think that's if they're high on a guard, that means that this is the guy that they want. You know what I mean? Like their guy. So I would rather go upgrade at the position, because trying to get, Mumford and that's where I think that we kind of sometimes could go wrong sometimes, to where I think we have a little bit of I don't know, say a little bit of a sweet, well, I wouldn't say a sweet spot, but like a little soft spot for Mumford, because he was drafted by us and all of this shit's drafted late, and he was almost, he won almost, he did win actually the starting tackle spot at the beginning of last year. Yeah. And it's you would hope that he can be that guy, but I don't know, man. I think at this point, we gotta stop hoping on sometimes the players like that too. We might just be better off just going to go get an upgrade on it. You'll get an actual guy who plays guard and is a dominant guard in college.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at right here is what Joe Ali's putting right here, and we'll get out of here after this. Miller, Kappa, JPJ, Parham, and Glaze. That's what I thought. We still have Parham on the books, and Parham kind of had a little bit of a slide last year. Huh? I think he had a little bit of slide because of the scheme.
I'm cool. I'm cool if you put Parham over there with Miller. Put him over on the left, and he'd be straight. And then I think Cap. I kind of agree with Joe, only because that's a Tom Brady spy tech. Cap is a Tom Brady spy tech guy. He was in Tampa, you know what I'm saying? So I believe that's probably why he'll be over there on that right side. So I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Nobody talking about drafting a guard high is like drafting a guard in the fucking second, third round. Drafting a guard in the second round is considered really high. Yeah. So even a guard in the third round, that's still considered pretty high to be drafting a guard, to where hell no, not at 6. Nobody ever said no guard at 6.
No. No, we're not saying that at all. Cuzzo, happy birthday. I mean, happy Easter, man. Happy Easter to everybody, man. Cuz I got to get with you. I definitely got to get with you. It's been crazy. But nah, man. Yeah, Yerp, bro. This was dope, man. So you got to come on more often, bro. For real.
Yeah, man. Hey, just send the link. I'm on, man. I appreciate y'all having me. For real.
Yeah.
Man. I love talking Raiders, man. For real.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, man. Hey, are we gonna throw the link out in the chat during the draft? I was thinking about that shit, man. We haven't done that in a while, but I don't know. If anybody's gonna be pulling up on draft day, bro, we might have the link in the chat. You guys will be able to pull up and just say what you guys got to say. You guys don't have to get on camera. We can do it to where it's just your voice, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's guys, man, it'll be great. But yeah, man, Yerp, man, it's we've been watching. I've been watching you. Even when you jumped on the first time, in the chat, whatever, whatnot. Showing you love. I think it was me and Gravy. I think Gabe was like late, but you've been pretty consistent, bro. And I've been watching the videos too. So man, you guys go over there and shit. Gabe's always late. I took Jackson.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man, because I was just was like, all right, man, I've been doing enough now. I was like, let me just start, seeing if people, reaching out to people and see if they wanted to be on my show and stuff. So I reached out to Gabe. Gabe hit me up right then, which I was like, dang, bro really reached back out to me. So I was like, cool. So he was like, man, look, we're doing the 420 special. He's like, man, look, lock in. I'll send you the link. He said, you know what I mean, send me your logo and we'll be in the building. So, you know what I mean, we made it happen. So, you know what I mean, like I said, yeah, I'm with it. I'm always down. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to, you know, build with others. You know what I'm saying? Build a camaraderie, a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's all it's
you know,
about.
like I said, y'all are the first. I'll always shout you out, no matter what, because you know, you guys, you know, help me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, and the chat helped me out a lot too, because you know, there's a lot of certain people in the chat that, you know, came through, you know, and they be in my live and they show me love. So shout out to the chat too. You know what I mean? So,
all day.
TheYurpJerz.
Are you going to any games this year?
Man. Huh?
You're going to any games this year? You're gonna try to make them out?
I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try. Got some things I got going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Fixing my house up and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get to one, but if not, I'm definitely gonna make one next year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right now, I'm just saving up to you know, getting my house fixed up and certain things, you know, attached.
Man,
to
bro, like the way the world is, we're going debt, bro. Who cares, man? Just debt it out.
I know, right? I know. Just say, you know what? Let's go.
Just go get a credit card and just knock that bitch out.
Yeah, literally, do it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I do, bro. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. At least go to the game, you know what I'm saying? Just to have a good time and shit, man. But we're always in LA. So in games in LA. So any LA game, we're there. And then I think I know for sure, I'm gonna go into at least one Vegas game, and hopefully that's the Dallas games. It just all depends because you know what I'm saying. I gotta. It's fucking expensive, bro. But it's like it's just a, you know, whenever you come out and shit like that. So like if you come out, bro, and if you're just solo dolo, bro, just roll with us and we'll have a good time, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna try. You know, yeah, I'm gonna try to get up out of there and stuff. I'm gonna try to get up out there and rock out, man. You know, show.
Yeah, are you back east or where you at?
I'm in the South. I live in Alabama.
Oh, okay. Alabama.
Yeah,
okay,
so all my stuff is like Central Time, so I'm like 3 hours ahead of y'all.
Got you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Shit. Alabama, that's crazy. How'd you become a Raider fan, bro? Like it just we out here.
Charles Woods is my favorite player of all time. He's my favorite Raider of all time. Like, and I used to watch him in college. Like, it's crazy because when people's like, "Well, are you a Michigan fan?" Nah, I'm a Hurricane fan. Like, I like the Hurricanes, but it was just something about Charles Woodson that, you know, made me want to like play like him. You know, I want to play different positions like he did. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to play corner and all that good stuff. So when he went to the Raiders, you know, I was like, dang. So I started watching the Raiders. I'm like, dang, like they getting hard out here, like, because I was big on that, like, you know, where I'm from. I mean, I'm originally from New Jersey. You feel me? So like all my folks and stuff, like, you know what I mean, all my friends, we big on big hitters and stuff. So I used to see some of that with the Raiders, and I'm like, yeah, that's my team right there. And my favorite players on my team, so I'm like, boom, and it's been Raiders ever since. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know, that's why we say it. There's only one nation, bro. Yeah. Raider Nation.
Raider Nation. You know what I mean?
Yes, there's no Cowboy Nation, no Niner, none of that shit. No Steeler Nation, none of that shit.
Yes, sir.
Go get none of that shit.
We in the building. You feel me? We in the building. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, shit. So are you going live before the draft game? Because I won't be able to.
I'll be working all week, but like, for sure Thursday, Friday, for sure. Hell yeah. You can't go. I might go live maybe Wednesday night, just like a little pre-draft type shit. You know what I mean? Like Wednesday night, like a party, like so see if Gravy's back or something like that. You know what I mean? So probably hit him up or something like that, and then we'll see what's up. And then we'll probably see, you know, just to like do a little one little pre-draft live to just to like kind of give our thoughts on who we for sure going to give, because there might be some more news by then. You know what I mean? So but everybody just keep on looking out for that. So Wednesday for maybe, but for sure Thursday, Friday.
Friday. What time does the draft? So what time? Let me see what time will the draft starts.
Starts like the coverage starts at 4. It starts at 5.
So 5.
Over there, it's going to start at 8, and over here on time 5.
Central Time is like 7.
Yeah, so ours is 5.
So yeah, so then we'll probably start about 5. So look out for it. Hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, all that shit. Most of you guys already know what's up with us. You know what I mean? So we will have it. Most likely we'll start right when the draft starts and shit. And I already got the banner ready. I'm gonna be putting up who's getting drafted, trades, all that shit. So I'm ready, bro. Man, it's gonna be nice, bro.
I can't wait, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. I'm tired of bro, like every off season, bro. I don't like every off season when we do this shit. Like we're like Tyree Wilson, what the fuck? Like we don't even look at this kid. I want to be able to I want to say Shedeur Sanders or fucking you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah, I wanted Carter that year, man. But
shit, man.
But Jalen Carter was the guy, man.
Jalen Carter. Yeah. But see, like even that guy right there, he needed a lot of cast around him and shit like that. Plus the coaching staff already had him, like, you know what I mean, had a history with them and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's gonna be exciting, man.
My wife is an Eagles fan, so she's reaping the glory of Jalen Carter while we're reaping the glory of Tyree Wilson. But it's okay. You know,
we're gonna get it.
Hey, you be able to thank her. Remember, be like, "Hey, man, thank you for beating the Chiefs, beating the shit out of the Chiefs." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, we had a because she said it too. She was like, "Man, you should have did your podcast then," because we had a blast. We had a Super Bowl party. All my folks, a couple of my partners came through and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's all it was just screams and the top of the lungs, yo. I ain't gonna lie, but it was great. I ain't gonna lie, I was loving it. You feel me? You know what I mean?
I was cheering for the Eagles that day for sure.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah, all day.
I was with it. You know
fly, Eagles, fly, let's go.
I wouldn't say I was an Eagles fan that day, but I would say I was cheering.
Yeah, a lot of my white folks is Eagles fans too. I got a couple friends that's Eagles fans too, so yeah, they was hitting us up and stuff. So yeah, it was dope. It was dope, man. It was dope.
Yeah. But hey, man, thank you for showing up, man. Thank you for being here. Everybody, happy Easter. To everybody, happy 420. All of that shit, man. Like, hope you guys have a good one today. Stay safe and low. You know how low ends. Low got the ending.
So every time, man, we always tell you guys, be thankful for what you do got, what you don't. Don't drink and drive, man. And especially right now, there's gonna be people having drinks, man. Make sure you just get home, Uber, whatever or not. Make sure you get a lot of good food in you. Be thankful that some of the things that we do got, you know what I mean, and just be able to do certain things like that, man. Thankful for your family, all that good stuff, man. So we appreciate everybody here, man. You guys have a great day. We'll see you on Thursday for sure, man. And how we always end this show on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Raiders! All right, man. You guys be safe. See you Thursday.